Hello again, welcome to Randy in the shop. Today I'm going to be working on blending the combustion chambers after machining the valve seats. One of the previous comments from the other video was, how do I do the angle on the guides, on the grinding stones? I'm going to show you a little bit about that here. The Hall valve grinder has a stand that the machine mounts on, and the angle is set by a part built into the base of the machine itself. I'm going to turn you around here a little bit, and then I'll start explaining a little bit. I'll be back in just a minute. All right, we're back. Here's the base that the valve grinding actually sits on, and the angle is set by this here. You loosen the nut, the bolt up, and you turn it up and down. It's got graduated marks on it. Here's 45, this is 30. Down here is 0, and there's a 15, and this is 55 degrees up here. You turn the machine on. I'll turn this on here a second. Just advance this diamond cutter a little bit, and as you come across the stone, right there, right, and you have the stone. When you take it back out, lift this up. And when this part is mounted on the base, the stone does not oscillate. It just spins. Lift this up off here a second here, and then you can see why we have a nicely ground angle. And in case you're wondering, this is over here, this is the case for it here. This particular machine, according to the date, is dated I don't know if you're going to be able to see that or not. May in 1945. So this thing has been around for a while, and it still operates just as intended. Hope that clears up some questions for you. Any other questions, why, feel free to comment. I'll do the best I can at answering them. Thanks again. We'll be back. All right, I got you set up over here by the cylinder head now, resting on some headstands, and I have two valves here that were basically just old scrap valves, and I machined the head down on them because these valves were a little bit oversized, and so I made the head a little bit thinner. And the reason I put these two valves in there is because you do not want to hit the freshly ground valve seat with a cutter, because if you do that, why, then you'll have to go and regrind it again. But what I'm trying to point out here, let me get a little ruler here and we'll point it out. You have a big step right here. You can see where that step is, and that happens over a period of time when you grind the seats. The seats, they will actually raise up in the cylinder head, or move away from the piston, so to speak. And this is not real conducive to allowing the head to flow very well. So what you want to do is you want to take a burr, and you want to grind all this away, all around here, in between the two valves, all around this edge. You want to try to make that as flat as possible. I'm going to move the camera up out of the way here a little bit, and I will grab the die grinder with a burr in it, and we'll show you how it's done. Be back in a second. Okay, I got you back over at the cylinder head here, and I got the die grinder with the burr on it, and I'm going to reposition this head just here a little bit, and we're going to start grinding. Yeah, my cutter came loose. Let me tighten this up here a little bit more. You can see just from doing that little bit how much I've actually taken out of there to remove that big ridge. And that just makes the head flow a little bit better. There's no sense in trying to get the air to flow around this big dam right here. You just want to remove that, try to make it as smooth as possible. It doesn't need to be perfect, you're just trying to unshroud the valve a little bit is all you're trying to do. Move this back around here a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. All right, that one there is kind of roughed in. You can kind of see how much of a difference that makes. It takes that big ridge out of in between the two valves, the big ridge that's built up around the valve, and that's the reason why you use two old valves, and I machine them so that they're actually a little bit bigger than the steel seat itself, to protect it, because you don't want to hit it with that carbide burr. Now the process is to take an emery roll, which I'm going to put in a die grinder here in just a minute, and we're going to do some polishing on this. It doesn't need to be perfect. I know you've seen pictures on the internet and on YouTube and everything else where guys, you know, polish the chambers to perfection and all that. I don't claim to be a professional head porter. That's not what this is about. This is showing you the basics of how the stuff works, and why you don't want to leave that big ridge there. As you can see, we have a pretty nice even transition there now. Didn't hurt the valve seat at all because the valve is oversized, and you just want to grind away that excess aluminum is all you want to do. Bring it back here in a little bit. All right, we're back. I got a abrasive roll in the die grinder now. This is kind of what it looks like. You buy them, come in a box. This is what they start out as. Companies sell them. Eastwood sells them. Eastwood sells a whole porting kit. It has these little arbors that hold these sandpaper rolls on them. You can buy these, you know, I get them from Standard Abrasives. These are, what grit are these? They're 80 grit. You can get them in any grit you want: 36 grit, 60 grit, 80 grit, 100 grit, whatever flavor you choose. That's what you can do. Get this fired up here, and we'll start doing a little polishing on this chamber here, and you'll see how nice it looks. And be prepared to make a mess, because it does do that. Crank up the vacuum here and vacuum that off. Turn this around. Put a fresh roll in this here. All I'm doing is just laying this edge back a little bit just to help when the valve opens. Valve starts to open like this here. Just allows the air a smoother path to get into the combustion chamber and out of the combustion chamber. Vacuum that off. There we go. That one there is almost completed, and you can see how much of a difference that's made. No more sharp edges in the combustion chamber from the valve grinding, and you know, don't get carried away. All you got to do is just smooth the edge off. Let me take this valve here, and we'll pop that in the next chamber here, and you'll be able to see the difference. Right there, you can kind of tell how much difference it is by looking at the smooth transition in between the two valves here. And when you compare this chamber here to the other one. Like I said, I'm not a professional porter. I had a guy that taught me a lot that did cylinder heads for a living, and Actually, the polishing, it's basically all cosmetic. I mean, you could leave it rough machined, you know, after you've gone over it with the burr, and it won't hurt a thing. Just the mirror finishes are basically all cosmetic, is all that is. So bring it back here in a little bit. Thanks. All right, one other thing I wanted to point out here while I'm thinking about it is inside the valve bowl, which is, they call this the bowl right underneath the valve. Anytime you have any kind of a ridge, like on this right here, just take your burr and smooth that all off. Anything that's in this general area here, don't get crazy with it. Just take and make it smooth. I mean, if it feels smooth with your finger, leave it alone. This is an example of what I did with this one here. It's nice and smooth. I really didn't change the contour of it any. These ports on these Brodex Track 1 heads are really pretty good. Just the little things like that underneath the right underneath the valve. It all makes a little bit of a difference in how the motor runs. Just thought I'd point that out so that you can see that, what I did there versus what this one here has, and you'll be good to go. Be back in a bit. All right, we're back. I went and blasted the chambers using the valves I was using when I was blending the chambers to protect the seats, and I'd say they turned out really nice. And as you can see by the two valves that actually go in this cylinder here, the ones that I ground on the valve facing machine the other day, the blend turned out really good. The valves aren't sitting down in a bowl anymore, and that'll really help with the flow into the chamber and out of the chamber. So that's going to conclude part 2 of reconditioning the cylinder heads for the new 400 build. And on the next build, on the next episode, part 3, I will be mounting the cylinder heads in the mill on my homemade fixture that I made, and we'll be giving the heads a skim because the sealing ring on the head gasket has actually burnilled the head surface just a little bit. So we got to give the head gaskets just a little bit of a skim, or the head surface just a little bit of a skim, and then we'll be ready for part 4 of checking valve install height and installing the springs. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. Bye.